All right, welcome back to the Gift of Gaming podcast. It's that time of the week again where we release a new episode. And joined with me this week is my blood and my older brother, Andrew Wade. Andrew, it's been a while since you've been on the show. How are you keeping?
Yeah, good. I thought you'd gotten rid of me. I'm glad to see I'm still here.
Well, we're still reviewing.
No,
we're still reviewing, so yeah. So keep it together. And also on today's show is one of the Kevins, Mr. Kevin Brennan.
Hello, Darren. My first non-Final Fantasy specific episode where I will definitely talk about Final Fantasy.
Oh, that's true. Actually, you haven't been on an episode that wasn't Final Fantasy related.
That's the first
You
one.
have been on our Games Club Final Fantasy 16 episode, and the second most popular episode, which is that Rebirth trailer that we all watched.
I don't know if I asked this last week. What is the most?
The first episode.
Oh, nice.
Which makes a lot of sense, I guess, with people kind of looking for a new podcast, trying to find something. They'll listen to the first episode. What's not good is that nothing's overtaken that. So loads of people listen to the first episode and then just like piecing out, you know. Not a good sign. Maybe I should reverse how the episodes are shown on Spotify. It's like, we got better. I think better than our first episode. So there's no theme or rhyme or reason for this episode. We didn't. I'm wholly unprepared. So Luke and Craig came up with the idea. Craig's often commented about his favorite part of the show is where I just ask, you know, what are you guys playing? And we shoot the breeze. And Luke said it's some of his favorite formats in some of the podcasts he listens to. So let's see if we can make it work, I guess.
Be entertaining
for
an hour.
God, no pressure.
Can we make genuine content off the top of our heads? We'll find it. So I'll ask the question, I guess. As I always would to start off an episode. Andrew, Kev, what are you guys playing at the minute? Andrew, I'll start with you. You are a guy I can always rely on to have a plethora of games kind of on the back burner that you're kind of working your way through.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've got at least a dozen.
It's okay, Kev. We're safe.
We're fine.
Andrew's going to carry this
I haven't
episode.
played a dozen games this year, like new ones.
No, I think one of the most recent ones I picked up there was Palia. It's like a Stardew Valley that almost plays like World of Warcraft.
Oh.
So it's really, really, really chilled out.
What's it called?
Palia?
Like P-A-L-I-A.
Palia.
Is that the free to play MMO that opened up recently? It was on I think it was on the Nintendo showcase.
I know it's on Switch, or it's coming on Switch. It's made by Singularity 6.
Yes, I have seen that one. Yes,
it is so much fun.
I'd say it looks very relaxing.
It's done in such a way that there's no PvP at all, and a lot of the stuff that's done, like anything you do, if people help out with you, they get whatever you get. So like you run to like a mining node, you start mining on it. If anyone in your party joins and starts mining on it, or randoms as well, everyone gets the exact same off it. So if you know, the thing is everyone help each other and thing. But it's just such a fun and happy and relaxed game.
It sounds so wholesome.
It is. It's again, it's just enjoyable. There's nothing I've come across and I kind of gone, oh, not this again. It's just the story's great. The characters are really well designed out.
What does it like? How does it look? Like, is it top down like Stardew?
No. It's like it looks to me by Warcraft. It's kind of like the same. It's like it's third person, kind of behind the character around. And again, now my laptop has to be dumbed down a tad.
Yeah.
As in, you know.
Yeah.
But it runs fairly well on it. But it looks like a beautiful game. Because mine doesn't obviously run as well as you'd see the things on YouTube for it. But it still runs enough that I can.
I love a good like wholesome, relaxed like Stardew Valley, Dredge, Animal Crossing, Palia, just like those games you can pick up at the end of a night or like with a cup of tea and just chill.
Speaking
through.
of which,
there's nothing stressful about it.
I had a lovely night last night where I was chilling. I got back home and Lauren was feeling a bit under the weather, so we were just kind of two of us chilling out. And I was like, I'll crack out the Switch in Animal Crossing, and I started a new island. I think I mentioned it before, and I'm not kind of religious about it. I'll pop on. It's exactly what I wanted. I'll pop onto it when I remember to pop onto it and do a few bits and pieces. But enough days had passed for me that the DLC that came out with it, which is the Happy Homes Paradise thing, that activated itself essentially. So now I could go and do this DLC stuff because enough days had passed in my island to allow it to happen. And I just it's a job. it's just a nice job. You go over to this other island, these other cute critters are like, hey, can you help us like decorate people's homes and make it nice for them in this holiday paradise? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I dressed up my dude to look like part of the crew, you know, in this office gear. And I just walked around asking these friendly animals what way they wanted their room looking, and I went in and made it a thing. And I've been taking pictures for the scrapbook, for the office. Oh, am I a loser, guys?
Not at all. I think I'd like to tackle Animal Crossing someday. I've seen so many people play it, and I've watched so many people play it, and I've seen so many different islands, what you can do with it, and kind of like I've helped out with a couple of people, but it's the type of game I think if I picked up, I would get sucked in for a long time, and I've seen how much time it sucked away from like Helen over in New Zealand, Tole.
Yeah.
Everyone.
It's just for all the time it can eat up. It has such a strong place in my heart in terms of COVID, rotten time, whatever. But the music, anytime I open up that menu, it's immediately safe. It's like having my own personal portable therapist that just plays a tune for me when I'm low, you know. But no, it's fantastic. But it's the way I'm playing it right now is actually quite a nice way of doing it. I will go on, and I'm not changing the date and time to, you know, to fast forward or rewind and do certain things. So I go on, and there's only a certain amount of things you can do in a day in Animal Crossing. Like you're only going to get so many resources from your trees or your rocks. There's only going to be so many things you can say or gifts you can give to fellow villagers. So I do all my day things in it. I'm like, okay,
that seems nice.
I'll stop now.
I think when Helen was playing it, she did the same thing. I think it was Helen. And on Sundays, she'd always get excited because turnips would come along.
Yeah.
And it'd be the whole turnip market, and now they cheap this week, and like
The turnip exchange is unfortunately dead though, because it's the quickest way of making money and paying for all of your island updates. And I think I got into this. What ruined I wouldn't say ruined my last island, but what made me kind of like live the last time I played Animal Crossing, the end of my time playing that was like a bit like a fever dream, where I was like, I got fucking sell the turnips for the most profit, and I got to use the money to pay off all my loans, so Tom Nook doesn't come and break my knees. But like, it got to the point where that's what I was playing the game for, as opposed for just enjoying the turnip exchange is dead. So going to that thing where you invite people to your island to say, hey, my turnips are selling whatever price, and everybody rushes to your island and they give you loads of gold or bells for going there. That stuff isn't there anymore. Like I went onto the turnip exchange recently. There was 2 people who had their island up, and the turnips weren't selling for great money. They were just looking for company, you know. It was really sad. I was on the turnip exchange being like, it's definitely lost its glory days. But it's been a nice way to play it this time, where I'm not constantly chasing the rabbit per se in terms of the turnip exchange, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'll pay for that hill that I'm building up to the next ledge sooner or later. Yeah. But I'm not rushing to the turnip
that's
islands
nice.
to sell.
And that's what I've noticed with Palia as well. It's that, like, you know, with Stardew, I mean, you have like money. You need to get money for pretty much everything you're trying to buy within the game.
Ain't that life, Andrew? Huh?
But with Palia, it's not. The only things like so. It's like, so it works the same kind of thing. You have your little bin that you dump all your stuff into at the end of the day, but that gets emptied during like 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. in game time.
Oh yeah, okay.
And you get money off that. But so far I'm a bit into it kind of thing. But all I've had to buy with actual, you know, in-game money is the blueprints for an axe and the blueprints for a hatchet. But apart from that, like, you build everything yourself. Yeah. So you just mine all the resources you need to build everything.
When you say in-game money,
so,
the currency from the game.
The gold in the game kind of thing. So
I was like, buying hatchets.
I was going to say, you're better buying real hatchets and things and doing real work.
I will say one thing with it though. There's a huge backlash for one part of the game that's owned is the in-game store. So it's done for purely cosmetics. So there's no, like, you don't need to progress.
No pay to win or win or whatever.
No, it's just on cosmetics. But they worked it out that you can buy cosmetic packs. It's a set of 3 outfits, or a set of one, or buy one outfit kind of. One outfit will set you back with €25.
Oh.
3 outfits is €65.
That's kind of like, it's kind of standard for a lot of the cosmetic stuff in different games. Now, I don't know what the quality of everything is like, or the graphics, but like, you know, Apex Legends would be similar now. Yeah. You know, but you're looking at 20, 25 quid for a skin.
You could buy Final Fantasy 16 or 3 outfits in a game.
Yeah.
No, and I would never, like, that's just not how I would spend my money. But the whole cosmetic buying your battle pass thing is the thing I'm very much against. Baldur's Gate is a game that we definitely discussed today based off all the great things I'm hearing about that. But the whole store, your battle pass, or whatever else is just, it's gotten to a point now where I'm like, it's oversaturated with like pure nonsense, like 3 costumes for 60 quid.
Yeah.
And like, I get it. If it's your game, it's all you're playing and you're absolutely in love with it and you want your person to look like that. And you're not, I've wasted 60 quid on lesser things than that in my lifetime. Do you know what I mean? So I get it. If that's what you're into, if that's what you're playing, fine, go for it. But yeah, I can understand the backlash. That's pretty pricey for what is essentially just
It
silliness.
is pricey.
Yeah.
Like I understand, supporting games. Like I think I only bought 1 battle pass on Apex, and Apex does a good thing where Apex Legends, where if you complete a battle pass, you get enough in-game currency to buy the next battle pass.
Yeah.
Warzone and Call of Duty had the same thing.
Yeah, there you go. So it rolled over for a while and blah blah blah. But when I have to go and look at the hours I've spent on that game, but it's in the high hundreds. Like, it's a lot of time. And when I consider I've probably spent 30 or 40 quid on it, like, it's extremely good value.
Yeah.
So it's good to have them in there so you can support the game. But you're right, like 20 quid a skin is like, does it really cost you that much to make the skin? Like a 10 inverse skin might be more reasonable for someone to pay. I don't know.
Yeah, they've like gone by it's obviously online as well, so there's loads of people running around. But every time I've played it, like there's dozens of people all over the place. Every server I've been in, like there's, if not full, then close to capacity kind of thing. So it's not like they're short on people jumping onto the game, but having that much for it, you'll see enough people running around in the thing, so enough people are doing it.
Is the game free?
The game's free.
Okay.
And it's in beta at the moment, so obviously it's got its own little issues and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
the game itself is entirely free.
Nice.
Um,
Is it only on PC or is it on console?
It's PC. I think they have plans to bring it to the Switch.
Yeah.
And then they were looking at plans to bring it to the likes of Xbox and PlayStation, but of that could be after the alpha is released, which have like games lately, they're betas for months, if not years.
Yeah.
So,
Darren,
yeah.
I was just going to say, you played the Baldur's Gate beta, right?
I did. I played it on greatest gaming thing that ever arrived here was the Google Stadia. That's what I played it on.
Nice.
That long living, really well supported.
Is it completely shut down now? Like, you can't do? Is it just an ornament? Like, can you do anything with the console anymore?
So,
because I know they shut down the service, right?
So there is no console. So I have to say, I benefited hugely from Google Stadia, right?
Yeah.
The only money I spent, so I went in and I got the Founders Edition of Google Stadia. Got the cool different colored controller, like the black and orange instead of the white and orange. Got a cool controller. I also got the Chromecast Ultra. Like that, when you bought Stadia, you got the controller and the Chromecast Ultra, and that was it. And the Chromecast Ultra, though, it's gone from the screen now. But when you open up Google or your Chromecast, and it'll have like a picture and the little TV connection button or whatever. For the Ultra that came with the Google Stadia, it also had a clip at the bottom of the page to say, this is the code for like your Google Stadia controller. So if you tap that in, it would lock your controller into your Chromecast and then open up Stadia, which was like the home page. You select what game you want to play and it opens that game and you're just playing it straight away. So there was no console, it was all off the cloud. So I was playing the beta, the pre-access, whatever you want to call it, or early access version of Baldur's Gate. Now, I think I paid full price for it at the time, maybe 60 quid maybe at that time. Yeah. But you got full access for X amount of time with the game. And then when the game was eventually released, I think the plan was that you would get the game plus whatever future DLC content was coming for free and kind of bonus weapons and items, things like that for free at that time as well. I'm sure some people who were on the beta one for the PC would probably have a good shout. I must ask Chris because Chris just got on the PC recently.
I wonder if it's like a cross console essentially. Like, do you have a Baldur's Gate account that you'll be able to use now on PlayStation and claim those rewards, even though it was on the Stadia originally?
No.
And this
That's
is
a shame.
This is what I mean was why Stadia was great for me, because they cancelled the whole thing. They shut it all down. I got the money for the controller and the Chromecast Ultra back, all that money back, but I still have a Chromecast. It didn't cost me anything. I got the money for Baldur's Gate returned to me, all that money, all the money for Final Fantasy 16 Royal Edition, which I got as well, and all the money for Cyberpunk. All that came back to me, and then and the cost of getting the controller and everything like that. So the only thing I paid for was there was 2 months where I actually paid for the online subscription service. Yeah, because they were releasing like monthly games, but like their monthly games and everything like that was shit. That's what let the whole system down. There was nothing coming on to Google Stadia that was worth paying for the subscription, and that's the only way they're making money, because there's no physical copies of games you can buy, there's no console you can buy. It's just the controller and like a Chromecast or whatever. So that's what really let them down. The game, the stuff that was available on the Stadia store was awful. But going back to Baldur's Gate, talking about that game, I am super excited to actually to play that game in its full working capacity. I was playing the beta for about a year and a half on Stadia, give or take. It was only open to a certain point in the game, a good few hours, like plenty of hours in. I never got that far. Like that's how far in it was. I never got far enough to do that. But we're in for a treat. We're in for a really big treat, I think, with that game. Chris has even said that in it is like an initial playing of it that he's delighted. And what's so nice about it, and it's kind of what I wanted to get into, I was just checking there, our good friend Daniel, who I hope he'll probably make an appearance in the podcast soon. He sent me a link to an IGN video, and this was an opinion from Destin Lageray? Terrible at pronouncing names. But he did a great video, and I recommend anybody to go watch it on IGN's channel. Is he breaks down, like, this is what... there's been a massive backlash from Baldur's Gate. Loads of other developers are coming out and saying, you should not expect this from games. And I'm kind of sitting back being like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, this is... No, we should not expect this from games because you have been training our mind to think that this isn't achievable, when very clearly it is. So, like... another video I watched, just a guy on like an Instagram feed, I don't know his name, but he made a very good point, being like, all these games will come out, like, with teams of thousands of people, they'll come out and the game will be buggy and it'll have these problems, but their store is never down. The things to buy, the battle pass and the cosmetics is never down. So there was loads of people saying this is the gold standard for video games, don't know what's involved in blah blah, and it was like, well, these guys have done it, so you can't say that. I mean, these guys know what's involved in making games. But see,
that's the thing. If they've done it, then by definition, that becomes the gold standard.
Yes, and I hope it does. And sorry, what I mean to say is, for people who don't know where I'm trying to get at here, because I am kind of like firing ahead. Baldur's Gate 3 is a game that's coming out with a full game available, no extra cost, no cosmetics, no pay to play or pay to win. You just buy the game, it's fully there, and the game is like massive. People have commented saying well over 100 plus hours just to get through the game.
How much is it here?
70, I think.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah.
Because a lot of games are 80 now, right?
A lot of games jumped up to... maybe you're right. Maybe
no, $79.99 for a lot of games I've noticed.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what Baldur's Gate is at then.
Yeah.
I'm
Which,
sure
I mean, would be fair enough. I was just curious whether or not it was at the high
But the game's fantastic. I mean, and what's nice, what I love about it is, it's great that any game would come out and really put a full stop against the argument that, like, we can't make games like this anymore. It's just not feasible in the modern industry. But I love even more so that it's a game that's based solely on D&D, which is such a wholesome community as well. That's such a game based on such a wholesome game or way to spend your time. I mean, a nerdy way to spend your time, whatever you want to look at it, but wholesome way to spend your time. They've come out and built this game, and don't get me wrong, like, it's been in beta for a long time, so they've been testing it for a while. So I'm sure they've spent a lot of money just to get them to here. And I know that's not the norm for games to go through such a, what would you say, a
lengthy beta kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's arrived and it looks like it's in incredible nick. I'm sure it'll probably still have its bugs, but the fact that they're doing that and it's from a community of people that like love this, like, D&D role playing game, I'm like, yeah, touche, fellas. Yeah. And
they are delaying the PS5 launch a bit as well to make sure they had all this kind of stuff cleared out and out of the way as well.
Wait, it's not the 2nd of September anymore?
No, 2nd of September now, but it was the end of August.
That's true.
Back a few days as well. And I think,
thank heavens. I'm so excited.
Because I was wondering, we were talking about it the other day, and the only thing I was wondering how it would port over to PlayStation. Do you know what I mean? Because we were talking about Realm Reborn, which I'm sure we'll get onto.
Oh yeah.
At some stage, Final Fantasy again. And you were saying that it's kind of similar, like it's a little bit clunky on console. So it's like a lot of games like that can be made or broken by how well the game is ported over. So that's my only concern about it. Other than that,
I found a lot of those kind of games. It's a lot to do with the fact that with the hotbar on like the PC version, you have all your number keys. You can put your spells to that, or mouse and stuff as well. Whereas the controller, it's hold L1 and press the buttons, and then hold L2 and press all the buttons. Like, it does tend to be a bit clunkier, but
and like, having played it, because I had it on a Stadia controller, it is slightly clunky on a controller, but I still was able to play through it no problem. But you see, the thing and the clunkiness I found about the game is not necessarily how it's been ported, let's say, to be used on a controller, but how you play the game. Because it's so D&D and
it's not real time, or
it's that real time, and like, it's turn based and all that type of stuff, but you have to think about it's like, we played D&D before, the three of us, whatever else, and you guys would often do things without thinking of repercussions that I have in my head because, there's consequences to your actions, etc., etc. This game plays exactly like that. There's so many things that when I was playing it, I didn't think that this would have an effect on me or that would have an effect on me, or, obviously I can't run through those little bits of fire still on the ground from that explosive barrel because it's going to put me into burn. And so all those little things that makes it feel like I wouldn't say clunky in a way, but it made me really slow down how I played the game and made me really think about it, but in a good way. I enjoyed that, like taking the time to perfect your strategy. But
I think as well, because like it's Larian as well, they have had Divinity 2 as well. They've had that, and that runs brilliantly now.
It's the same company.
Same company, yeah. So they've had that experience working on console as well. So if they could even port over the basic way that works, that'd be obviously now it's for like next gen console and stuff as well. So.
And that's the thing. I don't think I'm overly worried about the port, having seen what they were able to do with Google Stadia, which was essentially they were encouraging controller gameplay. I think for the most part with that. And I think, aside from that, we are talking about the PS5. And interestingly enough, the reason it's out on PS5 and not Xbox, and I'd be interested, like if Luke was here, I'd be interested to get his opinion on this, is because the Xbox, they reckon, isn't powerful enough to run Baldur's Gate the way they want it to be run, which is why it's only coming out on PlayStation and not.
Is the PlayStation that much higher spec than the
I think
Xbox?
Apparently it's slightly higher, but I didn't think much that you could lose out on a game here or there. But a game that was essentially built for PC,
they might be running it right under limits of what a PS5 can do.
But that's strange because like Xbox is Microsoft is PCs in my head. Do you know what I mean? So I find that unusual. But so apparently I was listening to a podcast and they were discussing the fact that it's a thing that people might need to be getting worried about is the Xbox not actually up to standard, and will we have to wait for the Pro to be able to get all the things that the PlayStation 5, as it is a standard with a Pro version, is able to manage and handle. But apparently the PlayStation was the only choice. I don't think they were able to. Now, if I'm wrong on this, email us at thegiftedgaming podcast@gmail.com to let me know that I'm talking out my arse. But I think what they were saying was that's very potentially one of the reasons why it's now on Xbox, because over the past, because we're halfway, that's one of the questions I wanted to get you guys on. We're halfway through the next gen consoles expected life cycle.
Don't be telling me. I've only recently managed to get my hands on the PS5.
But that'd be very strange for a lot of people because it was so hard to get for so long.
It was so hard to get for so long. I mean, it's been 3 years? It was 2020.
Yes, they reckon it's been 3.5-ish years, and
2020?
No, what about
I got it in 2021, but I think it was 2020.
It was 2020, and it's taken me like I don't even think I've had mine a year. That was not for want of not trying to get the
I was very lucky. I was traveling in New Zealand at the time, and I was I was like driving all this unbelievably beautiful landscape or whatever, and I got a text from one of my mates being like, Noel Leeming, or one of the big, kind of like Harvey Norman, like one of the big superstores over there, has stock and go and have a look. Straight away went on, didn't get any, and that night we were camping at some campsite in some town in the back end of New Zealand, and we sat down with a laptop and 2 phones all connected up to the internet, like clicking through trying to get it. It was like you would go in and there'd be no consoles available, and as you were sitting there watching, the page would refresh and it'd be like, click here to buy, and you'd have to jump in and get it.
Jesus.
And I just managed to scrape one, and then I managed to scrape one for Niall as well, which is really lucky. I got him it wasn't a disc edition, there was none of those left, but I managed to buy him one of those, and he paid me back. But it was like gold dust. Like I nearly wanted to finish my holiday early just to get back to Auckland, so I could like sit down. And when I did get back, the first thing I did was like go in, open the PlayStation, set it up, and turn on I just turned on Apex because I had nothing else, but like it ran in 60 frames. It was beautiful, and the PS5, such a big difference. So
when you picked up your PS5, did you was it difficult at all, or are we now in a situation? Because I mean, I haven't really been paying much attention because I've had mine for a while now.
As in, was it difficult to get my hands on it?
When you eventually did, was it?
Yeah, I mean, difficult? It was such a random one as well. I think it was Curry's. I was in work, and one of the lads that was mentioned that so Curry's was selling them. So it's on the one he was mentioning is on my route home through thing. So I'll give it a check anyway, and checked it and went online, and they said they'd won in stock. So as I tried to book it and wouldn't let me purchase it to the thing, because whatever, it just wasn't the thing. I was like, oh, for God's sake. So I rang them up and said, here, look, is there any chance? Oh, we've one left in stock. I was like, could you please hold that for me? He's like, if you can get here in the next, like, Yeah. And I don't think I've ever left my office in such a speed. I think I left my phone behind. Thankfully I brought my wallet because that would have been a horror. But had to go back into work to get my phone then afterwards because it's just like
well worth it.
I got the PS5 though.
Yeah.
I broke some rules, some guidelines to get my PS5 because we were in the depths of COVID. Well, not to say the depths. It was just at the beginning.
It was a minor.
It was the beginning, but we were all quite scared. There was no sign of vaccines or anything like this at this stage.
Yeah.
And I was living in with Lauren and her family for a little bit, and I was talking to a friend of ours, and he was like, "Oh yeah, no, it's my partner got it like last night. We were just passing by." It was I think it was PC World in Carrick Mines, and they just had a rake of them behind the till, and that was like last night before they closed. And I was like, okay. And then at this point in time, we had like a 5 kilometer
the radius for you
you could travel. Carrick Mines was 18 kilometers away from me, so I was precious. I was meant to be at work anyway, right? I was working, but working from home. We've got the remote laptop, so I was like, well, I haven't had this sanction that I can leave right now. But this is like, I've got this news. It's about 10 a.m. So I hopped in the car with the laptop open beside me, connected to my phone hotspot, drove all the way out to Carrick Mines, praying I wouldn't hit any sort of guarded checkpoints. Got to Carrick Mines, and there was like a small queue of people waiting to get in. I think they opened at 10 or half 10, whatever it was. And I was second in line, and I was sitting out there, hunkered down outside it with the laptop open on my lap, answering a few queries, whatever else, and saw that they were opening up. So I closed the laptop, got in, and it was very obvious right from the moment that the key went in that door to unlock it that everybody in this queue was here for a PS5. Like, word had gotten out that these places had gotten in some stuff late last night, and there might still be some stock. But it was so weird that I was like second in line, comfortably about to walk in, and I got like proper shoved in through the doorway. Like there was people like I'm
some
getting
Black
in.
Friday America stuff.
Yeah, really, really weird. And I went in, I was like, oh, and I just wasn't. I was too busy trying to make sure I was, no one work knew that I wasn't there. Like we're doing what I should do, so I ran in real quick anyway. And they said, no, we're only selling them if you buy a second controller. And I was like, fuck, I'll buy 4 controllers if that's what it takes to buy a PS5. So I went in, and luckily they had one. Picked it up, and I remember I got back into the car and I had the box beside me, and then I stepped back out of the car, went around to the passenger door, opened it, and I seatbelted, I buckled in the PS5 box. I was like, you're coming home with me.
Did you give it like a nice
little pat?
Rub, like,
yeah, a little pat. And then
Good
drove home,
PS5.
and no guarded checkpoints the way home either. Got in, left it in the box. I was good because I knew, that was the thing. I was driving back and realized that I was getting late for a meeting. So pulled into like an industrial estate.
Yeah.
Put some headphones in and then blurred my background as best I could to get in this meeting, being like, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm still in my house. I haven't left at all to go do this thing. So it was a whole ordeal, but it was amazing to get it. Oh, and like that was early as well, early days. So it was this thing where I had to endure this fact that you couldn't get it for about 2 weeks and then hit on this. And I was like,
and once you get it, like, if I ever turn on it, like Aiden, my brother, me and him play DMZ a good bit at the moment, which is extremely fun, Call of Duty. But he plays on a PS4, and that thing sounds like it's about to take off half the time. It's unbelievable. And like I'll hear him, like I'll have my headphones on in my room, and he'll be in his room, and I'll just hear this like constantly in the background, and it takes him ages to load anything. All the like doors just look like messy watercolor paintings. Terrible.
But that was the thing, like, and Darren, you are aware of what I think you're aware of what my PlayStation was. Like, so mine wasn't a case of, I want a PS5, but I can wait a little while for it. Mine was a case of, I need a PS5 because my PS4 is about to explode.
That was bad.
Because this thing is, I couldn't put on a headset and play online games with people in a party because all they could hear was my PlayStation.
So my favorite memories of that was, I think, our old friend John Steins, Kev, used to have a really loud computer. I remember playing. We were playing Minecraft server. This is going back years, but anytime John unmuted himself to talk, it was like he was like, it was like someone was
farm equipment.
Someone was
blowing
a hairdryer right into the mic, and that was him sitting beside his computer. I was like, John, I am getting this through your mic. I have no idea how you're sitting there and listening to that thing. And just take off.
Noise through mics is the worst as well. It used to happen with Niall sometimes when I was saying these before the podcast. I was in Auckland, New Zealand. He was in Melbourne, in Australia at the time, and we used to play Apex and like a couple of other games away out and stuff online together. But he had a fan in his room. And the fan was on like rotate or whatever. And like the mic's obviously set to just pick up noise that comes along. So it'd be like silent for like 8 seconds. And then just this like sounds like he's in a wind tunnel for 4. And then silent for another 8 seconds. Like, please not. And he was trying to like, I'll like I'll mute it and unmute it and everything else, but you'd always forget. So eventually I just put up with it. Just leave it.
It was
on
that,
the
and then I
timer.
remember we were playing some game online a couple of years ago, Andrew. I can't remember what it would have been. I would have hopped on.
Was it that dwarf game? Deep
It
Rock
mi-
Galactic?
It might have been
No,
Deep
I think
Rock
if you're
Galactic.
thinking, we were playing Call of Duty quite a bit. Warzone.
Yeah, of course. And then I could hear from your mic your PlayStation.
I was struggling to hear you guys through my headset with that there.
You were describing it to me, and I was like, Andrew, there's no way it's that bad. To the point where I was actually actively muting you.
Yeah.
While I was playing Call of Duty.
And that's the worst because you don't want to like you want to be able to communicate with the people you're playing with, and you feel bad, but it's like I literally can't deal with this noise
now. This is the thing as well, and like you don't realize, like you play the PS4, and like obviously the PS4 is making noise, but you don't realize how much slower it is compared to a PS5 until
big time.
Until like I think I was playing Warzone like that, and you'd gotten yourself a PS5
and Monster Hunter
as well.
Yeah.
So like you guys got on PS5. I think you'd gotten a PS5. Obviously yourself and Niall had gotten them at kind of that point as well. I think it was Andy had one as well. But there's enough in it. One of the parties I joined in, everybody but me was on PS5.
Yeah.
And I joined in after the countdown. You're falling down kind of the king. I would be joining in as the game had already started and they've already done their little shootout while the countdown's kicking in.
Yeah.
It's like I joined into a game and like the party's already jumped out of the plane by then.
Yeah.
Like,
it's ridiculous. And it did
this is
used
so
to happen. You were just saying Monster Hunter. When we were all playing together, I remember it used to happen to you all the time.
Oh God, I was like, I jump
we'd
in.
land in, we'd rob all the potions from the chest, we'd run off to the next area, and you're like, oh jeez.
I'd jump in. I was like, where are you guys? Like, we're already fighting the monsters. Like, oh, for the love of.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
But that brings me around to the question I had based on the PS5. We are essentially, give or take, approaching the halfway thing of the PS5's life cycle. Based on the PS4 and the PS3.
7 years.
Yeah, 7 years, give or take. So, we were talking about loading times there. Is it the next gen console you hoped for? Has it impressed you? Does it feel like next gen? Are you wanting more from the PS5? Or not necessarily the PS5, but from what's playable on the PS5, what feels like next gen?
So, I've gone from the thing that gets me the most is that I can turn on my PS5 now and turn on my TV, turn on the PS5, and within 10 seconds of turning on the PS5, I'm in playing a game. So that for me was the main difference.
Yeah,
the
speed.
You're on a PS4 and it takes a while to load the main screen. Then you go to the game, it's going through the loading screens, get into the game, and you're playing. But now it's the case we can turn the PS5 on, and like some of the games that I will mention as well, like, you straight into them. There's no loading times on games, it seems now, and that's the one thing that I love. It's just. But
especially for people our age, we're getting older. We don't have
time.
We don't have time for loading screens.
I want to chill. No, that was the biggest thing for me. And for a long time, I was really underutilizing my PS5. But it's just what I wanted to do. I played a lot of Apex Legends towards the start of it. But even that, like having it in 60 frames, like no frame rate drops at all, regardless of how big the fights are.
Side for sure.
Looks beautiful, and in competitive gaming, it's amazing. And then I didn't really. It was just loading times until I played Final Fantasy 16. And 16 was weird because I don't know if they needed to give it more time to optimize it. It did drop frame rates at certain points, but it looked absolutely unreal. Like I invested in like a 4K monitor that runs at 60 frames and everything else, like gave it the chance, and it looks fantastic. I've seen like Horizon, which you obviously adore, and that
but the
looks
interesting
incredible.
thing about Horizon, and this is where I wonder about games, because Horizon Forbidden West came out on the PS5 and the PS4. The DLC for Horizon Forbidden West was only PS5. So like that wasn't even, like, that looked amazing, and it wasn't even locked into next gen consoles. So I think for me, I'm waiting to see and Kev, good thing you're here because you won't get away from Final Fantasy ever with you on an episode. But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the fact that it is stated it comes on 2 discs, it's giving me this impression that this thing could potentially be massive, like absolutely fucking huge. And my thing about it is it possible to play a game with maybe a full open world map where you don't wait on anything? There's no load screens, there's no areas, just everything is. I mean, I know from progressing through the game they'll have places closed off, but I mean, let's say you finish Final Fantasy VII Remake, the trilogy, and you load it up one day, and you can go anywhere on this massive world map, and there's no entering or exiting a screen. There's no walking through a tunnel or squeezing through a tunnel while it loads up the next section. I'm like, is that what it's capable of? And does it look good at the same time?
I don't think the PS5 will be able to do that. The reason I'm saying that is because we've played Horizon, the new one, and if you go into the cauldrons, there is a loading time between going in. It's small, but it's there.
But Horizon was built on PS4 and PS5. It wasn't a PS5 exclusive.
Yes, but am I not wrong in saying that the DLC was just PS5?
DLC was just PS5, yeah, but there's only one cauldron in there, isn't it?
Yeah, but that had a loading time to cross over into it.
Yeah, I mean, true, but I have a funny feeling based off, I'd say they were using a lot of, source code and stuff like that from, it looks a lot better. That's what they were going for. I think it looks a lot better, probably runs a bit smoother, but I don't think it's a massive departure from, because it's DLC, so I don't think it's ever going to be a massive departure from the game that was available on PS4 and PS5.
I would wonder, and I wish Chris was here for this because he's our PC playing, console hating, full-time Canadian.
Yeah,
lore master?
No, fucking, I always mess this
I
up.
know.
He's going to hate me for this.
I only listen
lore
to the
seeking?
Lore seeking. Lore seeking. Yeah. But Chris would know, because, the thing about consoles is, at the end of the day, they're essentially PCs running an operating system that gives you your menus and everything else, and it's convenient and it's great. PC Master Race players would say, oh, well, even the PS5 is shit compared to this, and I have this graphics card and blah, blah, blah. I'd wonder if PCs can run games like that. I don't know if they can, and I don't know if the PS5 will be able to. No, I don't know enough about it, but it seems unrealistic. I feel like our graphics are going to get better. I don't know if loading times are going to continue to improve. Did the loading times improve drastically over the PS4's lifetime? Or was it similar, but it tended to look better?
No,
and more efficient ways of writing code.
I think the game developers became more efficient, but there was never a case where, case in point, Monster Hunter. That was a really cool thing to have someone play a PlayStation 4 versus other people on a PS5, all playing the same game together, and that alone giving you a very good indicator as to how much quicker the PS5 was. To me, yes, they improved the PS4, but it was never, I think it was always limited. I think the only reason it got better is because developers managed to make their games, it had been out for so long that they were able to utilize more of the PS4's potential.
I suspect the PS5 will be a similar situation. I think it'll get better, and I think it'll look better, and I think it'll improve, and we'll see Rebirth and everything else go, this looks great, but I don't know if...
I don't think it'll ever be... You'll see the kind of, obviously the difference you saw between PS4 and PS5 was phenomenal jump. I don't think you'll ever see a huge difference in PS5 loading times versus what they are now.
Yeah.
I don't think there needs to be, though, unless they say when a massive game like Rebirth comes out.
I've not waited long, or not felt like I've been waiting long for anything on the PS5. No. But what I just mean to say is that can they do it where you just don't have to wait? It's all... The really interesting concept was what made Horizon so successful on the PlayStation 4. I was watching a guy commentate on this, was that it rendered things in a really interesting way, in that everything behind Aloy during Horizon was blank white space or stuff to be prepared. So the reason I think it was able to look so good and feel so smooth and stuff like that on the likes of PS4, because it is, as far as I'm concerned, it's the best looking game on PS4, hands down.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
Hands down. And I think I was watching a thing where they said that it renders everything in Aloy's periphery, what you see on the screen, and when you turn, it's loading that while... I'm not deleting.
Not deleting,
but undoing when it's loaded for that,
turning down everything else that's behind it. So I'm kind of is there room for such a possibility with PS5 and how people create games where they can do something similar to that
maybe
as well?
For something like Rebirth, even just clever map design, have a world map where there's barriers in the world to what you can see and what the game needs to render. Mm-hmm. So it'll feel like you're able to just walk constantly through this world. Have vantage points and everything else, obviously, where you can see it all looks beautiful and you can go over there, but load things up ahead of time, but really try and work the map around it so you can...
And the really interesting thing about Final Fantasy was that a lot of the the part where you're in the Sector 7 slums in Final Fantasy 7 Remake and you look up to the plate for Midgar, that's they designed that really differently. It's like a painting almost.
Yeah, it's a picture, not an actual...
Yeah, it's a picture, a really, really, really high resolution.
In 7 Remake or in original 7?
In 7 Remake.
Oh.
So when you're looking up, you're not it's And I think the when you got on the PS5, they've done like
they redid it. It looked amazing.
They redid it. It looked amazing.
Yeah.
But the PS4, it still looked really, really good. But what they had done was actually just a really, really crazy high res. It's almost like Star Wars, like the original Star Wars trilogy, like the Death Star and all that kind of stuff was just a painting that they flew things past. And I was like, it's just clever
ways,
clever usage of it.
Yeah. So what do you? I mean, is there anything else you want from this generation of console? Is there anything that's lacking that you were like, God, I wish the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, whatever, could do this?
How many like PS5 exclusives are there now? Because I feel like there wasn't many for a long time. Like 16 is, right? Like a lot of the newer games. There was like Returnal, I think that was the first one that was touted as like.
Now there's loads of them that are console exclusive as opposed to just PlayStation 5 exclusive, i.e. that they're releasing on PC and PlayStation but not Xbox or Switch. But
PS4 as well as PS5?
We haven't, no, and that's why I'm hoping we get that as we move along. I have a funny feeling that, I think it's definitely the case whereby COVID and the lack of equipment and supplies, everything like that, and how everything kind of really slowed down the PlayStation's capability to actually put a PlayStation in everybody's hand. And now everyone has one, so let's develop PS5 games. There was a massive we still need to develop these games for PS4 and PS5 because the amount of PS5s out in the wild aren't enough really for us to make our money back if we're just going to PS5, and that's beginning to change. So I think we'll probably see a lot more exclusives coming in the next second half of the PS5's life cycle.
Because I think I remember when I got the PS5, I think the only game that had really just been designed for the PS5 was, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Godfall.
Godfall was like one of the release games. Yeah.
And it looked beautiful.
Yeah.
And I played
I knew you'd play it.
What?
I can just rely on you to play
for anyone who can see, Darren has just spit his drink
I almost spat my water out with that. Like,
it's like all the games that I Google and I'm like, 6 or 7 out of 10. I don't know. I'm like, I know Andy Wade's going to try it. I'll ask him.
I think it's pretty much accepted at this point that if a game has come out that everyone else is looking at going, ugh, then I've probably...
You'll give it a go.
Godfall wasn't one that I was like... what would you say, turning my nose down on. It was just a thing that I was like, okay, I've got my PS5 now and I want X, Y, and Z, and Golfball just didn't fall into that.
Was it like fighting big monsters? Was it kind of anthem-y or?
Here's the thing, right? And so it was very much kind of like Destiny style way it was done.
Yeah, Destiny.
But when I got it, it was free on PlayStation Store, but it did something that I don't think any game has ever done before, and I can kind of understand why no game has ever done it before. They gave you the entire, like you had this badass character. They straight away gave you things like you were level 60, and you had
all the abilities, and
everything that you should get. And I was like, here, you can play now, and you can play all the stuff that everyone else is playing now. So it's like a catch up kind of thing that you could do, but you get that, and there's nothing to earn.
Oh yeah.
So straight away you're kind of going, oh, this is great. Wait, no, there's nothing to do.
There's no progression.
Everything. Yeah, there's no progression. There's no leveling up. You have everything you can ever get. Yeah. It's like playing Realm Reborn or something and having maxed out a character, having done everything. I was like, now what?
Speaking of Realm Reborn, that's something that will never happen to us in Realm Reborn, is where we've unlocked everything and played everything.
That's because we won't ever get the time to play the damn thing.
Yeah.
How long do we have left? Do we just want to talk about Realm Reborn?
I think we have 15 minutes. The last 15 minutes on Realm Reborn for sure. So Andrew, I mean, interesting enough, I loaded up when I logged up Realm Reborn, the Final Fantasy 14 MMO RPG. When I loaded up again, and it had been years since I'd done it, I kind of had to stick my data center and load up these kind of like a file thing. And I checked the file thing that I had, and I had 2 save slots on it from I guess the 2 previous times where I'd already taken up 2014 and 2018. So I'm almost on every 4-year buzz. It's like every World Cups, I'll give Realm Reborn another shot. Logged on because we were talking about let's see if the guys want to play, and a couple of people seemed keen, and we were talking about it being a good winter game to get into. And I was like, I'm going to go in and just kind of relearn my character that I had before, because I don't know if I'm going through the whole story again, maybe. And Kev, you were kind of saying, no, I think I might give a new character a start, and I was like, nah. I put too much time into that game to start a new character. Oh my God, Andrew, I started a new character, and I cannot get out of that world. I can't. I just can't. Every spare moment of my day I was in work today looking up what are the best fates that I can go to at level 20 to get cool items. I just I cannot stop thinking about the game.
See, this is the thing. I mean, we all played that game so much, I mean,
so much and didn't get that far. Like,
well, some of us played it a little more. No,
I rely on it. Yeah. I'd be interested to see what your hours played is, because I got to the beginning of the third expansion. I finished Heaven's Ward and got to the beginning, the second expansion, I guess, Stormblood. And that was, I just kind of got into that and was like, okay, I'm done. My time on the game is 720 hours, which is fuck ton of hours.
Does that include all of your characters though?
Yes. So it's the time that the game has been being played, whatever. So 720 hours. And did you finish Endwalker and everything?
No, so I Endwalker I never even started.
Okay.
So I played through and I did so Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers. I think then Endwalker was the next one after that, unless I'm mistaken. There's one between.
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, so I'd finished Shadowbringers, and I think I was waiting at the time for Endwalkers to come out, and then whatever happened, I think I didn't get it when it came out. I think we'd all stopped playing at that point, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I stopped, but I went back to it as well. I know you're saying you started a new character and thing, and I can't. I just can't bring myself to do it. I've got so much built into that character. I was tempted to use that. You know the way you can have different jobs as the one character.
Yeah.
So I was tempted to go back and say, "Oh, I'll start one of the new jobs," but they'll require there's every job in the game I have, and I have a character on a fairly high level into it, with the exception of a black mage, and it's next to impossible to get into a thing because you're DPS, and this game does not kind of DPS.
How many hours have you played, Andy?
I mean,
you need to look it up, and we'll say it on the next episode, because I'm so curious.
Where do you look this up?
So it's on the PS5. If you download the game again, well, actually, no, you need to check it on your PS4, because if you download the PS5 game is a different. It's treated as a different thing. So I went into my PS5 and it had 0 hours on the game, whereas on my PS4 one, if I looked it up, it had time played. It was 720 hours. So, or actually, you can on the PS5, you can download the PS4 version of the game. So do that first.
Yeah.
Download the PS4 version of the game and check your time played on that, because I'd say it's fucking outrageous. I'd say your time played on that game is absolutely mental.
So I mean, this is the case. I mean,
2,000 plus,
easy.
Oh,
easy. You're talking about. I mean, I've got. Sure, we had one of the episodes where I started listing off the games I'm playing and how many hours were. Yeah. And it's obscene. I don't know. Claire did the same thing as well. So what she sees now, and it's a killer for me. I love the fact it's like a show offy thing. But if you're on the PS5 now and you scroll through your games, the bottom right corner shows you how many hours you've spent in each of those games.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If you download the PS4 version of that, it'll show you straight off the bat.
Zero hours on that.
No,
the PS4 version.
The PS4.
Yeah. So I'll do that then and find out, can I? But I mean, just like a quick run of some of the games I've been playing at the moment. Like I'm playing Stellaris, and that's just, as you know yourself, that's the thing. I have currently 782 hours in that.
Okay, go on.
Right?
Yeah. I love this segment.
I've got
how much time has Andrew spent playing games?
No, I've got a Stardew, and that's cracking over 500 hours now.
500 hours.
Some of us were stuck at home trying to work from home during COVID and spent an obscene amount of time.
I spent a lot of time playing Stardew. I felt I definitely 100, 150 anyway. Maybe a couple of hundred between
this
myself.
man's he spent a lot of time selling strawberries.
Monster Hunter.
Oh man, I don't even want to. When we went back to Monster Hunter to fight the Fatalis, and we'd left the game for ages. We hadn't played for months and months. We hadn't started Iceborne.
Yeah.
And then me, Darren, and Craig, I think, went back to play it. And I think Pete was playing it.
Pete hopped on for a bit.
Yeah, Pete was playing it for a bit. And you were like, oh yeah, I'll get involved or whatever else. And you came back and you're just in all this resplendent armor. You're a foot taller than you should be. You've got everything done. Except for the Fatalis. No, and who was before Fatalis? There was a monster you didn't get past. That was on the lead up to him.
You're right, there was.
Just one. I think it was the second last monster. Remember, it was a monster Andy couldn't beat.
Oh, I can't think of the name of it, but
he was.
Yes.
Oh, I know the dragon one. Not obviously not Fatalis. It was the.
Got it. It's on the tip of my tongue, but yes, you had to fight him, and he was incredibly difficult to do the fight in terms of. No one was playing it anymore, so you couldn't really get a party in it. So you needed us to.
I need you guys to actually give me a dig out, because I was primarily a solo player for Monster Hunter. Unless I was playing with you guys. So
you fought him in an underground lava cavern
Yeah.
type thing.
Yeah. So like the entire time that I was playing solo, like I blitzed through the entire game, did all the things, but I've done all the fights solo and gone over them enough times to base, the third last boss's armor set.
Yeah.
Entirely kitted out. Like,
Yeah.
I think I had like Omega version of.
And you'd have like several armor sets. Like you'd have armor sets from like all these different monsters, and you come. And I've always been amazed by your attritional ability when it comes to a game. Like you will just.
Thanks. That makes it sound a lot better than what I was going to say it was.
What were you gonna say?
Just my addiction.
But you will commit to a game. And like it happened with Deep Rock Galactic as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where we were like getting through the game, we're like, oh yeah, sweet, like we'll see what the story is, and then we left it for a few days, and we came back, and you were like 8 times our levels. You were giving us potions that made us like explode and stuff. It was crazy.
Guys, look at all these things I discovered. But going back, because you didn't say your time on Monster Hunter, and we're just talking about World.
This is just World. So just to get, what would you guys assume I have on that? Just a matter of interest, because I know to the minute what I have on that game.
So my time on the PSP version that we played last, I remember checking, was like 500 to probably closer to 600 hours on the PSP version, which I think I still to date spent more time on. Even with all our Fatalis fights, I still think I spent more time on that PSP version than I did on Monster Hunter World. Man, you're probably... Oh.
See, I'm just trying to think of me. Like we beat the Fatalis and stuff.
Yeah.
I think I've about 140 hours in the game.
I probably
because I was
more.
80 before Iceborne, and then I mean the thing is Fatalis is
got
a
like
half an hour every time.
1,500 hours on Monster Hunter.
Well, wait until these are finished and you can...
Higher or lower? No, higher.
No. Have your guesses, and then I'll let you know the exact amount, because I won't lie. I mean, during COVID, Monster Hunter World was my kind of game. That, and I played a lot of Realm Reborn as well, but they were the two kind of ones I threw myself into.
You've there's been like 3 or 4 games you've been like during COVID, man. I started you the same. It's COVID. It's not COVID, Andy. It's you.
So no, it is me. No, no. Like with Stardew, I played that a lot, and then Claire started playing it as well, and the two of us.
Yeah, it's a lovely.
It is, and we spent we tried every variation of every map and stuff.
What's your excuse for Monster Hunter?
I had so much spare time, and I just
so. Like 500 hours or close to 600 hours in the PSP version, which was like at a time where I had nothing but time as a kid, because those 600 hours were put in a very small window, I think, back in the day. I'm thinking of you playing World now. I'm going to multiply that by at least a factor of 3. I'm going to say you're about 1,800 hours on Monster Hunter World, which I hope...
I'll give you some credit and I'll say 14. Which is 10 times the amount I played. And I played a lot of that game.
So hit us, Andrew. What's your hours?
So my total play time as of, I think it was 2 weeks ago when I last jumped on, it's 1,882 hours.
Oh, good guess, Darren. Great guess.
So can I just put... I've added...
Please don't put it on today's plays.
So we've got just 4 games. We've got Realm Reborn, Monster Hunter, Stardew, and...
and can I just say, I know for a fact Realm Reborn's more than Monster Hunter.
Jesus Christ. So I haven't included Realm, so I put in mine.
Easily Realm Reborn.
So what did you say you had about 700 hours in?
Huh?
Stellaris?
Stellaris, I've 782.
Okay, so we're talking... This is Stellaris, Monster Hunter, Stardew, and...
Realm Reborn?
Well, hang on. Are you talking because No Man's Sky has more than Stardew?
No.
Stardew's the lower.
Listen, we're gonna put this. This would be a new segment. Don't.
Was it?
How sad is Andy?
You have to spend 10,000 hours to become a master at something. You're officially a master of video games.
Yeah,
sweet.
Yeah.
So
doesn't show though.
1,800 on Monster Hunter, 500 on Stardew. What did you say was the?
Call it 800 in Stellaris if you're bouncing up and down on that then.
Stellaris. And was there another game that we had included in that?
Realm Reborn, but I don't know yet.
Don't know. So we'll just take those 3 games at the minute. Those 3 games. And we're going to talk about 12-hour days because, we don't, like, where you got to play for 12 hours maybe a day. 259 days.
Woohoo! Nice.
Yeah. And I have a wife and 2 kids.
Yeah, that's what gets me. That really blows my mind.
I don't sleep.
Like, and you're clearly a good dad. And like, it's like, where do you find the time? And you work all the time.
I think it's like this is something Claire was always amazed by.
Andrew mastered cloning a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
And it's a fake Andrew.
This is my first time on the podcast. I've actually got 3 others to actually cover for me today. Because as like Claire as well, I sleep maybe 4 hours a night. I always have. That's just I don't sleep any more than that. I can't physically sleep any more than that.
Yeah.
So I find myself up at like 6 a.m. most mornings if it's a weekend or whatever. Claire and the kids on a weekend generally don't get up until 12, 1, 2.
Yeah, so
I just game. Most of my mornings are gaming. Even before work,
nice.
I get up and play an hour of games when I go to work.
That was how I played a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Again, during COVID in New Zealand. And I was living with Tole, Andy, and Helen at the time. And I kind of wanted to settle into it in the sitting room on a big TV or whatever. People kept distracting me. I was like, no. So I set up my monitor in the room at the end of the bed. And I would get up at 5 a.m. and everyone else would get up at like 8 or half 8, specifically so I could play Final Fantasy VII Remake by myself. And then right as everyone else was getting up, I'd pick up the phone and I'd ring Darren.
Yeah.
And we'd talk about where we were in the game and like talk for like a half an hour or 40 minutes about it. And that was just my routine for ages. Like that morning, getting up early in the morning and playing games.
It's such a nice time to do
when
it.
you like on a weekend or whatever. It's so nice. I don't do enough of it anymore.
I see so many memes and stuff about there, like, the funny videos on, YouTube shorts or Instagram shorts, whatever, of like, 12-year-old me playing video games and it's like 3 a.m. and like wide awake playing video games. Like 30-year-old me playing video games is 9 p.m. and I sit down and I'm knackered. And I'm like, that is me. Yeah. So like that time when you get up in the morning, it's like, wow, I'm completely locked into this because I'm freshly awake, play games. Yeah, man. Damn. Well, all right, that's a brand new segment. Andrew, for the next time you're on the podcast, I need you to look at a couple more games that you play a lot of.
I'll get my top 5 games in order of how much time I spent. But can I, so just for a laugh, try and figure out how much time I spent on Realm Reborn.
Okay, so we're putting our bets in. Anybody else, between now and the next episode that Andrew is going to appear on, email us at thegiftogamepodcast@gmail.com and tell us how many hours you believe Andrew's played of Final Fantasy 14 and Realm Reborn. My guess, oh man.
All right,
like,
so just to put into perspective here as well, right? Whereas Monster Hunter and stuff, like I played that kind of solo and stuff and thing. When I was playing Realm Reborn, I was playing it long before a lot of you guys joined onto it. So I think by the time you guys had started playing with me, I was already like level 50 on my White Mage. So I had played it for an extortionate amount of time before you guys joined.
We're talking about 10 years essentially worth of playing this game.
4,000 hours. 5,000 hours.
20,000 hours.
1 million hours. Okay, so 5,000. Okay, I'm gonna go for 6,200 hours.
It just seems. It seems like such a preposterous number. Like it seems like it's not possible as well. So I'm excited to hear.
And you don't know, Andrew. Sure, you don't.
I don't. Because the thing is that I know it's more than Monster Hunter because I know how much time I sank into it. And
I started in your, I say, defense, if it's defensible. In your defense, this is a game that we've been playing on and off for 10 years. Like it's been in existence since 2014.
And it is such a time sink.
Yeah, and you have to remember as well that when I first started playing it, I wasn't married, I didn't have kids, and a lot of the time was spent just gaming. Like that, my life at the time was just work, game, sleep, maybe sleep, game, repeat. Call sick into work, game.
Forget I have a job, game.
Yeah. Gaming was the one thing I didn't forget or not do. So.
Okay, so that's a brand new segment on the show. I love this. We're gonna, and don't. Next time you're coming on, don't have your top 5. Don't shoot your load too early. Just pick a couple of games that you've played a lot of. And just throw them out in the episode. Don't pick your top 5. Like, hold on to some of your highest ones for future episodes.
Look, so that's the problem. I mean, like, my highest ones are Monster Hunter, No Man's Sky, and Realm Reborn.
Okay, well, the next one we'll talk about Realm Reborn. Hold off on No Man's Sky to another segment. How long has Andrew played games?
I love it.
Too long.
I love
Guys, that's been plenty of time. We did it. We've hit the hour mark, essentially.
Sweet. Nice.
Talking absolute
bollocks.
Yeah.
Didn't even talk as much about Realm Reborn as I had planned to.
And as much as I wanted to. Yeah.
I think that might nearly be an episode in itself, considering how much time we could pump in to talk about
What I'd like to do about that episode, that game as a whole, is while we're playing it, like when we get the lads back on, I'd like it for it to be just, especially if I've got 2 people on with me who are playing Realm Reborn. I'd like to have a little segment before we kind of kick off the show about like, how is it going?
Yeah.
How's the free company going?
We're not. There's no free company. We have to wait. We have to wait a month to set it up.
And I have to laugh. The last time I jumped on as well, our house was gone.
Yeah.
Because remember you guys gave me all your money and I'd gone off and bought a house.
Yeah.
And then we all started playing. And then I logged that back on and see the plot had been sold because it's been so long
Well,
since
here's the good news, Andrew. Me and Kev went on a little bit later on today, and I was like, when I first went on, and I first went onto the section in Realm Reborn where you unlock the residential areas, you know, the lavender beds in Gridania. I was like, amazing, I'll go check this out. And I saw there was loads of plots, but loads of available plots, which is unusual for the game. But since they've
added so many
loads,
more onto it,
and there was like, oh my god, these could look like, I thought it was affordable, like 3.6 million gil. I was like, maybe I have, like, I'll go to my level 50 whatever character that I played the most of. He's probably got a bit of money. Logged in with him, not a whole lot of money, like, 50k whatever, and then I logged into another character. He had 80, 90k. I was like, okay. Slow but steady. So I sent Kev a message being like, how much money do you reckon your old, like, Realm Reborn character has in that game? And you came back to me, Kev, with a beautiful 2.6 mil. I was like, wow, we're
It was
there.
one of my, sorry to interrupt, but because Andy's here, I have to say it. One of the only messages I ever sent you on PlayStation was a picture of my character IMA doing botany and me saying I got addicted to botany. And that's what happened. I spent weeks doing botany and weaving and selling it all. And that's like the last thing I did in the game.
Making tons of money. So he came up with like 2.6 mil. I was like, okay, so another mil, but we'll get that while we're playing. And I realized I had like two other characters that I just had in game. Went on to one. He had 90k, and I was like, well, I'll run over to Kev's character and trade that with Kev, so he's got all the money.
Yeah.
And I saw there was 4 letters that I needed to go to my Moogle for, to be like, oh, I got 4 letters, I'll read them. Hats off to Peter, for Pete.
Shout out to Pete.
Yeah. Shout out to Pete for the honesty here, because in my last time I played, we had a free company with Pete, and we're all saving for a house. And this is back when the servers weren't great, and it was hard to get a house, and everything was expensive, and it was like, I don't think they had a lottery system. I think they had almost like an auction system.
There was a point there where we were playing, I think it was the 3 of us at least anyway. I think it might have been Pete, and I think 1 or 2 others as well. And I was sat in the lavender beds because someone at that time was going to auction up their house, and I think I'd taken all of our money to go see what it was going for, and I sat there for hours waiting for this thing to happen.
So I logged on with this character and saw there was 4 messages from, and I was like, oh, and I think his character's called like Drizzler or something like that.
Drizzler.
So it took me a moment to like, who the hell's, like, who sent me these letters from Drizzler? And I opened them, and Pete had, whoever was in that company with Pete when we were playing through the game the last time, we'd all pooled our money and resources, and Pete, I guess in wanting to go and join a new free company because we'd all left, he just sent us all, like, he cut the cake in equal parts and sent us all stuff. I had 1 million. He sent me 1 million gil. So I opened up this letter, and I like, it's, it tells you how many days ago it was. It was like 1,200 something days ago. This mail's just been sitting in my account, and then I passed that money over to Kev, and I was like, sweet. So we went to go to the Lavender Beds to buy a house. A thing that we never succeeded in all the years of playing Realm Reborn, and we've literally just turned it on for a week here, and our free company is brand new. We just set it up, so we have to wait 30 days. But we have enough money to go buy a plot of land and have a house.
And I also have 4 letters on my main character, IMA, ready to go.
Probably another mil from Pete.
There might be a mil from Pete in there, so I'll have to go and check and thank him if there is.
Yeah, good stuff. So we'll do a full episode on Realm Reborn for sure.
Ray, I'm gonna spend more time and effort on that game.
Yeah, we're gonna go finish it the whole way through. After this, I'm gonna stick around with Andrew and Kev, and I'm gonna ask them the question for our post show as to what console they believe has the best library. And just to put in some ground rules for this question, that there will not be none of the consoles that we're picking are backwards compatible. So it's purely on a library based off that console, nothing else. If you want to hear that kind of stuff and you're like, hey, this episode was fun, I kind of want more content, hit up our patreon.com/giftofgaming. There you'll find tons of extra episodes. We do a post show after each and every episode. We do extra news episodes when we do the news episodes. And if you like our Games Club reviews, we tend to release them early on the Patreon for our Patreon or for our patrons. So yeah, if you like that, check out patreon.com/giftofgaming. You'll find all the stuff there for the cost of a coffee a month. It's a steal. It's a steal, guys. It's gold. Content is gold. You should go and do that. But Kev, Andrew, guys, thank you so much for joining me on what was a nothing episode.
It was great. It was a something episode.
Yes.
You know.
Thank you for joining me on a something episode.
Thank you for making me realize how much of my life has gone down the video game toilet.
Well, on those 4 games, we're talking about 258 12-hour days. So, so far.
So far.
Great job, Andy.
Yeah,
hey, I've achieved something.
We'll add it up and call you a therapist at the end and see how things go. But listen, guys, it's been great. To all our listeners out there, I hope you guys keep enjoying the gift that is gaming. Until then, peace out.